This 17 News at Noon podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
A man accused of raping and killing a local 13-year-old girl is due back in court this afternoon. We'll have the latest on the case. And another school board meeting, another protest over vaccine mandates. We'll have what parents had to say at the Greenfield Union School District meeting last night. Those stories and more on this Thursday, November 4th, 2021. And good afternoon. Thanks for joining us for 17 News at Noon. I'm Maddie Jansen. We begin with your 17 Court Watch. The man accused of raping and killing 13-year-old Patricia Alatorre is expected in court to be arraigned this afternoon. Armando Cruz was indicted by a grand jury last month. A gag order has been issued in the case, barring attorneys from commenting on the matter other than scheduling. Cruz is accused of killing 13-year-old Patricia Alatorre last year, along with other charges. According to court documents, Alatorre met Cruz online and communicated with him before her disappearance and killing. Cruz was eventually arrested in Inglewood. Bakersfield police are investigating a shooting that left a man dead in a gas station parking lot in southwest Bakersfield. Officers were called to the 76 gas station at Weibel and Plans Roads around 10:30 p.m. to a report of a shooting. Emergency responders say the man died at the scene. No arrests have been made. By our count, there have been at least 119 homicides in Kern County so far this year. Meantime, the investigation continues this morning into a deadly airplane crash near the Shafter Airport. It happened just before noon yesterday. According to airport officials, a crop dusting airplane had just taken off from the airport in foggy conditions en route to New Cuyama. The pilot, who was the only person on board, was killed. FAA and NTSB investigators will determine what caused the single-seat Thrush aircraft to crash so soon after takeoff. Education news now, and parents filled the Greenfield Union School District Board meeting last night to voice their opposition to a vaccine mandate for kids.
I oppose the vaccine mandates, and I want to hold on to my right to make health decisions for my children.
Some of the parents who spoke did not have children in the district. At the meeting, one parent defended the vaccine and called out the large group of protesters.
I had my boys vaccinated a couple of weeks ago, and they're fine. Nothing happened. You know what? And I feel a lot more secure now that my family is just a little bit safer.
Hortensia Cabral, a parent from the district, says that at the very least, if unvaccinated kids are allowed to go to school, they should be forced to mask up. Tens of millions of Americans who work at companies with 100 or more employees will need to be fully vaccinated against COVID-19 by January 4th or get tested for the virus weekly. The new requirements will apply to about 84 million workers. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration regulations will force the companies to require that unvaccinated workers test negative for COVID-19 at least once a week or wear a mask while in the workplace. Workers will be able to ask for exemptions on medical or religious grounds. OSHA said that companies that fail to comply with the regulations could face penalties of nearly $14,000 per violation. It's unclear how OSHA plans to enforce the rules. And now to the latest numbers of coronavirus here in Kern. 5 new deaths reported today due to COVID-19. We also learned 339 more people have been infected with the virus. The virus has not spread this fast since late September. A year ago, we were seeing on average about 90 people testing positive for the virus each day. Now it's almost 370. 235 people are in the hospital with more severe symptoms of the virus, and 65 are in local ICU beds. A dire warning from health officials as they sound the alarm about another surge in COVID-19, and it could be the deadliest part of the pandemic. Last winter was the deadliest time of the pandemic so far. December and January were the worst months, and new modeling shows the next few months could be deadlier. Health officials are worried.
These models are painting a very scary picture, if I'm being frank. They're telling us that we're facing a gigantic surge that's going to peak in January, and our hospitalizations are going to peak at 200 more patients than what we saw at the peak of this previous third surge in January. Our hospitals are already significantly overwhelmed. They were overwhelmed at the peak of the third surge, and to think about the potential of having 200 more COVID-19 patients in our hospital system here in Kern County is a very scary thought.
We are and have been on the worst case scenario model since the beginning of the pandemic. That same model projects our local hospitals could see more than 550 COVID positive patients about 2 weeks after New Year's. It's also projecting 600 more deaths in the next 4 months. That's why there's a push to get vaccinated and for the most vulnerable to get a booster. And although we've never followed the optimistic model, it shows if vaccination rates increase, we could see a relatively quiet holiday season. If vaccination rates increase, the model projects 400 fewer deaths.
Hello, this is Tim Callahan with Clinica Sierra Vista, and we're excited to unveil the Community Health Center of the Future, our comprehensive care center. It's located right across the street from Memorial Hospital. We have every service under one roof, from family medicine, OB/GYN care, dental services for adults and children, behavioral health, and much more. So find your way to better care at Clinica Sierra Vista this year at our comprehensive care center. Visit our website, clinicasierravista.org, for the latest on this project. We'll see you soon.
Making news around the state, starting today, a sweeping measure begins in LA requiring COVID shots for everyone to enter a wide variety of indoor venues across the city. Under the ordinance, those 12 and up will have to show proof of full vaccination at indoor areas, including restaurants, bars, gyms, movie theaters, malls, play areas, spas, and salons. There are exemptions to the city's requirements. Those with a medical or religious reason for not getting vaccinated can instead provide a negative coronavirus test taken during the 72 hours before entering an indoor space. Back here at home, the battle against a proposed cemetery in a northwest Bakersfield neighborhood continues today. The Diocese of Fresno is inviting residents to learn about plans for the proposed cemetery. The meeting takes place today at Elizabeth Ann Seton Catholic Church at 5:30 p.m. A group of nearby residents has been battling the decision for months now. County supervisors hear that appeal November 9th. Finally, here for 17 News at noon, today Starbucks is debuting its latest assortment of, you guessed it, holiday cups. Each is featuring a gift-inspired design. The 4 cups named wrapping paper, ribbons, holiday lights, and candy cane also feature a gift tag on the back so you can share with someone. Starbucks is also bringing back a few of its seasonal drinks, including the ever-popular peppermint mocha and the Irish cream cold brew, just in case it's not quite cold enough yet for these Christmas drinks, which, I mean, it is a little ways off, but why not? Let's get into the holiday spirit.
The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.